Hey, what is up, guys? It is Ben. Today I'm jumping on the bandwagon of doing internet top 5s, except it's Wiffle Ball themed, so it fits with my channel, I guess. Anyway, today we're going to be counting down my personal top 5 favorite Wiffle Ball games of all time. So let's get right into it, starting at, number 5. I'm sorry, that's such a waste joke. I will never do that again. Anyway, getting right down into number 5. This was a small league from New York, MLWB Major League Wiffle Ball. This is back in October 2014. It was the Blue Wahoos versus the Hurricanes. Pitchers would be Andrew Scheffler versus Colin Karen. These guys had always been rivals. I don't know why. But man, in this game, they just went back and forth, back and forth. Wahoos needed to win to stay alive in the World Series, and they definitely fought for it. The game would go back and forth. Each team could not get an advantage as pitching was just so dominant. And then finally, in the bottom of the 7th, Trevor Zeitowitz decided to end it, batten down the hatches, and he hit an absolute shot to center field. Wahoos would go on to lose Game 5 in the series, but still, amazing game, Game 4 of that series. Next up, we have the Mariners versus the Dodgers in the 2015 Palisades WBL World Series. This game did not go 5 innings, it did not go 10 innings, it went 15 innings and would decide the series. You talk about pitching, this is it. Miguel Rath went 5 innings and Robles went 5 innings. And the strikeout numbers on these guys is insane. Fleecer had 21, Costas had 20. That's just ridiculous. 9 innings straight until finally the Mariners with Ryan McGilrath were able to score off of an RBI double. Looked like that would be it the way the pitchers were playing, but no. Gerard Fitzgerald came up, he said, "We're not going down without a fight," and then the first pitch of the bottom of the ninth smacked a line drive shot to keep the game alive. And then once again, game went back and forth, pitching, no hitting. Neither team could threaten, or I should say they did threaten, but they couldn't score. That was a big problem. Until finally, in the bottom of the 15th, Gerard Fitzgerald once again would be the hero, and he hit a 2-run homer to win the game, the series, and give the Dodgers, the oldest team in Palisades WBL, their first national championship. And that's just awesome. Moving into our number 3 spot, we're going back to 2013, the Elite 8 of the GSWL Open, Blue Razors versus the Piranhas. And the last game was a marathon. This was about 5 marathons. This game went 26 innings.
Any strategy going into this half of the inning, guys?
Do something different we haven't done the first 7.
Like score?
Kevin Norris pitched all 26 innings for his team. And not only that, hit the game walk-off home run. That's incredible. I think the thing that really makes me love this game the most is not really the game itself, but the fact that after pitching 26 innings, Kevin Norris would go on to pitch 2 more full games, the game in the Final Four and the championship game, and would win both. That's just amazing. To top it all off, he had pitched the day before with his team just to qualify. So that's just mind-boggling to me to pitch that many innings, to perform that well, and to ultimately win a championship. But I guess if you're the king, that's just what you have to do. So, yeah.
Finally get that 25-inning game out of the way. Now on to 603.
2 more.
Doesn't get much easier.
Alright, we're getting close to our number 1. Coming in at our number 2 spot is going to be back in 2008, Remember the Name versus the 603 All-Stars. Pick it up in the bottom of the 3rd. Pat Lay would get an RBI walk with the bases loaded. That put the 603 All-Stars on top 1-0. Then later on, in the bottom of the 4th, he would come up to the plate again and rip a double to left center field to score the other one. So at this point, the way Fast Plastic pitchers, they were so good, it looked like 603 had in the bag. But no, Remember the Name is going to make you remember their name. With 2 outs in the top of the 5th, runners on 1st and 2nd, hit a ground ball, went right at the middle, clean single to score 1 run. So deficit has been cut to 1. Jared LeChance would be able to get out of that inning unscathed besides that 1 run. Ultimately, the game would come down to the final inning, the top of the 6th, where Remember the Name would load the bases. And with 2 outs, Ryan O'Shea, one of the best hitters in the league, up to bat versus LeChance. The championship was on the line. Base hit tied it, or possibly gave Remember the Name the lead. With 2 outs, LeChance settled down. LeChance was able to K Ryan O'Shea, give 603 the National Fast Plastic Championship. Alright guys, moving down to our number 1. If you're a Wiffle Ball fan, you know what it's going to be. It's going to be FT Wiffle, the final game back in 2010. FT Wiffle was the first Wiffle Ball league to become popular on YouTube. They were the first ones to kind of get Wiffle Ball out there. And they ended it all when they went out to college, but they had one final game to end it all, and this was such a good way to end. Dramatic. It started out in the early on where Vince D'Anziola hit a solo shot to put Team 1 up. Then from then on, Steven Gether just threw Ks for the next umpteen innings. Man, he was just throwing pure amazingness. Then, and Calvin Jan, the same thing. He was pitching really well too. Looked like the game was going to be over. It was going to be dramatic, but it was going to end in the bottom of the 5th. And then Dan Kropa pulled off, I think it's safe to say, the most famous clutch in all of Wiffle Ball, where he hit a solo shot to tie the game up. And then from then on, Team 2 had all the momentum, would go on to score 6 runs in the next inning to win the game 7-1. Kind of blew them out at the end, but if you're going to end your league, that was such an amazing game to end on. The first time I watched it, I was just so captivated, enjoyed it so much, so dramatic, and just such an awesome ending. And that's number 1 pick, easily, by far. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this first ever Wiffle Top 5. If you enjoyed it, please tell me down below in the comments. And if you didn't enjoy it still, I want to hear what your top 5 pick is, so please tell me that too. If y'all do like these, I'll probably keep making them because it's pretty fun to make and I enjoy giving my opinion on things. Anyway, that is it from me. You can subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, and I got a lot more awesome Wiffle Ball content coming your way this summer. That is it. I will be seeing you guys later. Goodbye.